Hi guys, this is Isan. Welcome to the second part of the Triton information videos about the lab. Um, I want to show you this time how to work with the ECS, the error correction sheet. This is something a follow-up about when you have done a test and the follow-up what to do. It's quite easy. I will show it to you because we already uploaded it, so you can download it in the download area now. Let's go on and see how you do it. We're going on show for this tank to get the results. Okay, so now it's like when you get a new evaluation, you will also receive an email, so you don't need to check every time on here to see if there is a ICP test or HPLC test done. The computer always, when I upload something, will tell you directly, send you an email and tell you there is an ICP test for this aquarium, for example, and this is an ICP test and this has been uploaded, so you can have a look. Now we go and look, and you should know all this stuff in here. I explained it last time, and now you have all the red and yellow warnings, and the summary is down here. So now the new thing is when you get a warning, for example for the copper, you also will get the page on the ECS, on the error correction sheet, where you should look for. The same counts for calcium, it's page 4, and the boron is page 5. I will show this in a few seconds. But this is quite nice, so you don't need to search too much, and you just directly go where you want. So we go for the download area, and this is the downloads area where the error correction sheets sits. You can just click on here, and depending on your browser it will open up or download it. You should always have in mind that you should look on the version of this sheet, because we will always upgrade it as soon as we develop something new, or we find out something new, because we're doing a lot of science. We will also change this PDF. Maybe you should need to do something else than before, or we have something found that binds copper or something, and then you should just have a look at on the version. If you haven't downloaded the older version, maybe the first version, and there is 1 year gone by, like, then please check the version, that you're not doing like the old things and always are on the latest version for this PDF. So let's have a look how it's looked like. I prepared it in here. This is the Triton error correction sheet for ICP OES version 1.1. And you directly can see that we singly view every element, and now you also know what is Hg, it's Quicksilver, or Selenium is Se. It's quite nice, you can have a look at them. Also, this is the page, so we had copper on page 3, so let's go for the copper. And now we're on page 3, and directly you can see the copper is here, and it's saying red too high, do this. So the copper is a special one, so just let's take the titanium. The titanium is said red too high, do 4 times 15% weekly water change with pure or recommended salt. And we will have also a recommended area soon on the website where we write which products, also non-Triton products, are recommended to use for a Triton system. You should just do that, what is written in here. One thing more is, if you have a red sign, for example in titanium or in lead or whatever, and there is nothing happening to the tank, so you haven't had any problems or something, you shouldn't overdo it. You know, it's not too good to have lead in the water, but even if the computer say it's red and your tank is looking unbelievably pretty, you shouldn't change anything. You just run on, or maybe, to be a bit careful, do 1 time 15% weekly water change. But if you're having really big problems, or problems with the corals, like STN or RTN or whatever, you then please do exactly what is written here, because it is, in our opinion, the best thing you can do to your tank. The same thing counts for the yellow signs, too high and too low and stuff. If there is no problem, you should be aware, but if it's yellow, you really don't need to do anything. So you just be aware and check where the stuff is coming from or where you have a contamination from or whatever, but don't overdo it. You don't go crazy on this sheet, please. It's just red because it's a nice color to show problems, okay? Good. You can see also there are slightly different things even in the heavy metals. Copper is one that there are some discussions about. Copper actually is dangerous for corals, but also is needed for them, but in a very low amount. Also, copper in some systems that are not Triton, for example, zero systems, will be dosed into the water. So it is not really relevant if this is showing up red in a zero system, because you always will dose copper into the water to bleach the corals in a zero system. And then this is not relevant to do detox or whatever. This is just relevant for systems are not doing the bleaching stuff. You also should have in mind with the copper the same thing that is counting for the rest. If everything is all right, you have not one coral that made you some problems, you shouldn't go crazy on the copper. You just do what we tell you in here when you have real problems. So let's go on with the macros and the dosage amounts, because this is also very important. Let's see, we have the sodium in here, so there is no dosing for sodium in this in the Triton method, but when the sodium is too high or too low, you always should check the salinity if something is going wrong. The magnesium, there is dosage, and you all know that the magnesium bottle is concentrated, but there is not too much magnesium in there. The problem is when something with the magnesium is wrong and it's too low and the dosage is recommended, sometimes the amounts are very high. So let's say you need to, the computer is saying you dose 2 liters of magnesium. Please don't dose 2 liters in one day. You have a maximum amount of dosage per day is 50 milliliter on 100 liter display tank. So this would be, let's say for a 1,000 liter tank, 500 mil a day. So you may not go over this 500 mil a day. So you're forced to do 500 mil 4 days to get to the 2 liters, and this is the right way. So this is counting for every other element also. So let's say again you have 1,000 liter of tank, you have 500 mil a day maximum dosage, you need to have 2 liters of stuff into your tank. The computer is saying that, so you need to do 4 times 500 mil in 4 days, and you're at your goal. You can see they are slightly different from each other, and you should always have in mind when you're dosing something, look at the maximum dosage of every element. Also, I would like to show you one thing more, is about the special group, and this is the iron group. This is in here. They have slightly different signs. They have a bar over here, which is red or green. This is because these elements are only measurable even with the ICP OES in exceed in seawater, because we can't measure them down where they would be in seawater. This is also written above. So you need to be careful with them. We recommend chromium and cobalt, only dose them. This is a dosage that is made up of feeling. You will only see when you have overdone it in your tank with this test. So you should be a bit more advanced when you want to dose them. The iron one is not too dangerous, so you can dose iron if you want. It is a green sign over it in here. But please just be aware with all of them. When there is coming up something that you can see there was cobalt or chromium or iron in the water, just stop the dosage please directly. And for chromium and cobalt, you then really, if you have problems, should do also what is written in here. and it's fine. There is one thing more. Yeah, you also can see that some of the elements are written not when you're red too low or yellow too low, is written dosage possible. That means it is not really recommended, so not really needed, but it's possible if you want to dose it to get better results. For example, the vanadium or the zinc. This is not with, like, for example, the iodine. We recommend the dosage of iodine when it's too low. This is a big difference between them. So this is your choice if you use these elements, but you should really dose this one when it's too low. I think you should just have a look, and if you have still questions, you just email us or get a contact to us via forums or whatever, and look if there is something I need to explain still. But I think this is quite enough, and have fun with it, mates. Cheers.